G'day, I'm Alex from the Gourmet Hunters team. In this segment, I'm going to show you how to cook a simple yet delicious goat curry. Goat meat is probably one of the most widely eaten meats around the world. However, in Australia, it's not all that popular, despite having a very large population of wild goats available to the hunter. So, if you're out and you're shooting and you do happen to shoot a goat, follow this recipe and enjoy a beautiful goat curry. So what you're going to need, first of all, is some goat meat. What I've got here is a back strap that I've cubed up. This was taken from a goat that we shot a couple of weeks ago, and it's been hung in the fridge for about a week. You'll also need some ginger, garlic and chilli. Now generally I'll use the fresh stuff straight from the garden. However, with this recipe, as you are going to be making a curry paste, it is a little bit easier to use the processed stuff. It's also handy to know how to cook it with the processed stuff, because you can cook it out in the field when you're out hunting. You also need one brown onion, diced, a handful of coriander chopped, some turmeric, and the secret ingredient being masala powder. Now this masala powder has actually come from India itself. I've got a friend that brings it out every time she visits, and she brings me a nice big bag like this, which will last me probably about 6 months worth of curries. You can get masala yourself from your local Indian grocery store. Just make sure you have a good smell of it, because they do vary depending on who's actually made the masala, and it will influence the taste of your curry, so make sure you get one that smells good to you. You also need salt, pepper, olive oil, just for the cooking process. Okay, so let's get this curry underway. First thing you want to do is get a nice heavy saute pan, get it up to a medium heat. You don't want it too hot, it will take a little bit longer to cook, but having it at a medium heat is the best. Use a good quality olive oil, as always, and give it a good dash in there. So we're going to brown the onions. Now, keeping the heat low means that you won't get that real crisp sizzling sound, although it is sizzling a little bit, but it won't brown the onions. So you'll get the onions cooking nicely, they'll get nice and caramelised, and they will get a nice brown colour. Okay, so the onion's sweating off nicely and starting to get a little bit of colour, so we want to add in our garlic, chilli and ginger. Now with the garlic, I like it pretty garlicky, so I'm going to put 2 tablespoons in, but you can obviously add it to your personal preference. Now in regards to the actual chilli, I actually like it quite hot, so I'm going to do quite a large single tablespoon of chilli. With the ginger, I'm not the biggest fan of ginger, but it does add to the flavour of the curry, so a single tablespoon of ginger as well. That's going to add to the flavour very strongly. It's also going to give it a rich colour. What you want to do, again, just keeping the heat on medium, so you want to just get it sautéing around, and you want to start adding a bit of colour into that garlic. You don't want anything to burn, because it will go bitter. Okay, so the garlic and the onion are starting to get a nice colour about them, mixed in there with the ginger and the chilli. So it's actually time to start adding in a few more ingredients. So next of all, you need to add in 200 ml of water. It doesn't have to be hot, it can be cold. Warm's always good. So that was half a jug, we'll save the other half for later. Give that a quick stir. You can see it's already starting to develop into a paste-like consistency. The next thing we're going to add is our turmeric and our Indian masala powder. Now with the turmeric and the masala powder, you want to add it in a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 turmeric, 1 masala. So that's 2 teaspoons of turmeric, which is what I'll put in. You don't have to be exact with this. The turmeric will give it a beautiful golden colour as well. and then 1 teaspoon of the masala powder. Now I like it quite hot and spicy, so I'll do quite a big teaspoon. What we'll do is just give that a stir. Let all the flavours mix together. You can already smell that aroma, it smells beautiful. The neighbours will be jealous. So you can see that turmeric's working really well. There's a nice golden coloration coming through there. You can see the darkness of the masala powder as well, making a little bit of a mess, but that's alright. My wife can clean that one up. And all we do is just give that a quick stir around. Put the lid of the saute pan back on. And let that simmer for a bit until it goes to like a paste-like consistency. Okay, so our curry paste has been simmering for around about 8 minutes. That water started to evaporate. You can see it's actually gone into a really nice paste-like consistency. So it's now time to add the goat into the curry. Now with the goat meat, some people are quite put off by the strong smell that it does emanate. One trick with this, and it is optional, is to wash your cut meat in vinegar. You don't want to go soaking in it because that will just ruin the flavour, but just a quick wash with vinegar eliminates that strong goat smell, and that will keep your critics happy. So we'll just add that in there. Like so. What you want to do, back on the heat, just start really getting that meat coated in all that beautiful paste and all that beautiful flavour. You can hear it's not sizzling, there's not a lot of heat coming through this. I have still only got it on medium on the cooker. The good thing with curries is you don't really want to cook them quick. The slower you can cook a curry, the better it's going to be. This curry is relatively quick in terms of cooking style. Sounds like the heavens are about to open up outside. Glad we're in here with this beautiful warm curry. Okay, you can see I've given that a good stir. All the meat's coated nicely in the paste. There's plenty of liquid still in there, so what we want to do is just simmer that for a good couple of minutes. You don't have to do a lot with it. I just keep an eye on it. The one thing you don't want to do is let it dry out though. So we've got our water on hand. If I see it starting to dry out a bit, I'll just add a bit more water and let it continue to simmer down. Basically you want to cook it until your goat meat's cooked. Now those chunks are quite big, so they'll probably take around about 10 minutes to cook. I'll check on it every couple of minutes. A great accompaniment to your curry, as you should have with every curry, is naan bread. These are the standard shop bought naan breads. I've wrapped them in foil, put a few drips of water in there because it helps them cook nicely. I've also smothered them with a bit of garlic butter, so we should have some beautiful warm garlic naan. These will take about 3 to 4 minutes in an oven at 180 degrees. It will be beautiful with your curry. So just checking the curry to see how it's going while we've got the naan bread in the oven cooking. You can see there's a fair bit of liquid in there now. That's the liquid that's come out of the actual goat meat itself. Just signifies that it's cooking. As the curry simmers, that will evaporate away. Well, as luck would have it, 3/4 of the way through filming this curry recipe, and we've got a blackout. The storm in Sydney, well, what can you expect? Luckily, downstairs is my camping cooker, so quickly ran down, fire that up, get the candles going. It's nice and romantic anyway, probably better than normal electric lights. So the curry's still cooking away nicely, probably bubbling a little bit too much for my liking, but you can only control the heat so well on these camp cookers, but it's doing the job. And it's getting close to being cooked anyway. Okay, so the curry's come along nicely. It's at a nice cooked stage now. So our last ingredient, some chopped coriander. Just roughly chopped in about a handful. Just plop that in. Gives it that last kick of flavour. Also gives it a beautiful green sort of coloration as well. Give that a quick stir around. We'll probably turn the heat off now. We don't really want it to cook too much more. The heat's still in that pan. Thank God for camp cookers. Now with salt and pepper, you notice I haven't added actually any salt and pepper to this. The reason being is I prefer to add salt and pepper actually after, or as per people want. Problem with salt is, if you add too much in whilst you're cooking, you can't take it out. You don't have enough in it when you serve it, you can always add it in. So I always like to add salt right at the very end, or let people add it themselves. Okay, so that's our curry done. What we'll do is we'll just serve it up onto this plate here with as much grace as possible. You can see that beautiful coloration. The meat's cooked beautifully. Throw this in here. Whoops. Bit of a garnish. And there you have wild goat curry, done Alex style.